Okay, so we're gonna get started. So I'm gonna get myself ready to have someone come through. And then after that, I will not be able to see the chat because I'm gonna be zoned out in whatever is happening here. So I may or may not be talking, but you guys talk amongst yourself. It's kind of fun to like play Pictionary with it. What do you guys think it looks like? And if it's funny, that's fine. Like, it should be fun. It doesn't have to be something serious, you know? If it looks like, spaghetti or whatever, shout it out. I don't have to take this stuff too seriously. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. So I'll see you guys when I'm finished. When whoever comes through is finished. Okay. Ugh. Except my cushion is a little irritating. Okay. Okay, I'm coming back for a second because I realized that I didn't switch the screen to the other screen. So I'm telling the spirit to hold tight for a second. I'm hoping I don't lose connection with them. I don't think that I will. It kind of feels like the same person that came through last time, and I feel like we're getting acquainted with each other. I'm gonna switch the screens. There, that's much better. Now you guys can actually see what the hell I'm doing. Okay. All right. Let's try to get back in here with this person. These are your unformed thoughts. You don't realize how important they are, what they have the capacity to create. Thoughts are much more powerful than you realize. And just like in the beginning of creation, the primordial ooze, there was the potential for anything. This is the way your thoughts are. Be careful with your thoughts. Hey, okay. All right. Oh, goodness. Okay. This painting is crazy. It's like hideous and beautiful at the same time. Okay. Which I guess is exactly, never mind. Let's not get into the message yet. Okay, so I want to know what you guys think. Before I tell you what I experienced, I want you guys to put in the chat, what did you experience? What did you feel? Use your intuition. Who do you think it was? Do you think it was male or female? Do you think it was somebody we've had before, if you've been here before? What did you think it was while it was being created? What do you think it might be now? How do you feel about what he said? Oh, I just said he, sorry. I gave it away. What do you think about what the spirit said? Remember, if you were here before I started painting, I said this is a collaborative effort with all of you, so I want you to participate. So let's see what has happened since I went, you know, under. Let's see. About to see some paint flying. There was a little bit of paint flying, Hoaxsters. I don't know if you noticed there was a little splash of brown that got in the red. And it was like, it like had to be fixed, you know? Oh, thank you, 12 Medb, for the bits. I never saw my alert. Oh, you know what? I don't have my alerts turned on in this particular scene. That might be a good thing, actually, because I think if I heard all the alerts while I was trying to do this, that it would really be distracting. So maybe it's a good thing I don't have my alerts on, but thank you for the bits. I really appreciate that. Okay. Leaning more towards a swamp, I had a feeling of thoughts or some kind of path. Hoaxsters! Hoaxsters! That's what the guy said, thoughts. Look at you. Karsa KKWX. Hello. Welcome, first time chatter. I was leaning more toward dying and decaying leaves and flowers. You know, when I was When the red parts were coming out, they reminded me of flowers. I mean, leaves. The red parts did remind me of leaves. Let's see. What was the laugh at the end? I'll tell you guys in a minute. After, I want to hear everything you guys think first. Okay, looks like a landscape of river or rapids or something, like a red fish in a river swimming. That's a beautiful depiction of this painting, Tea Time Talks. I like that. Let's see. Hello, Beth K, first time chatter, welcome. Looks like the red is land and the green, brown are rivers, and it strikes me as very masculine with the colors used. And thank you, Beth K and Karsa, for the follows. I see that you guys did follow. Thank you. Like koi fish, yeah. I'm gonna say that it is a he. Yes, I gave it away. It's a he. Still thinking of dying leaves and flowers. Yes, like the brown and the red definitely are like remind me of leaves in the fall. Hello, Uncle Jimmy. Uncle Jimmy's basement. That is such a curious name you have there. You drew that yesterday? What a coincidence. Welcome, Uncle Jimmy's basement. When red comes in, I thought it was going to be a rose painting. Oh. Sylvie said, I thought at first it was a female and the person was trying to be precise and yet playful with trying to use their paint and form the colors, but then he was firm in how he talked, so I thought male. I don't know, I got confused. That's fine, Sylvie. Be confused. There's nothing wrong with being confused. But the painting itself looked more like a swamp, and the green stuff was a river flowing, and the red and brown was some debris or rocks. Good, Sylvie, good. Beth K said the painting on the side of the canvas also strikes me as being very particular and making sure that each part of the canvas is used. Yes, Beth K, that's kind of one of my requirements of the spirits, is that they make a damn finished painting. If you're gonna come in here and make a painting, you better make it finished. I don't want to have to go back and finish it after you left. There's a couple little spots on the edges. Okay. I'm seeing a fast-running river with some rocks and 2 mermaid fins. Ooh, mermaids. It's the Knight of Wands for sure. Thanks, Uncle Jimmy. Let's see. Okay, so anybody else want to chime in what they think about it before I give my experience? I don't really know which way it should go either. Like, I'm holding it this way. I think this was the way it started originally. So I kind of feel like that's the way. And you guys are right. It totally reminds me of water. And like water with rocks and like stuff swimming in the water. Like fish and leaves. But they're like not clear. You can't see them clearly because they're under the water. You guys are totally right about that. Yeah, they're unclear for a reason. Yes. Okay, so I'm getting paint all over my hands. This was my experience. So it was someone that we've had before, and actually this is his 3rd time coming. And I know now one of his physical things that happens to me when he's here is that my eyes really hurt. Like they burn almost. Like the light hurts his eyes, and therefore in turn it hurts my eyes. And this spirit is the same spirit we've had in the very first Spirit Art Night. And he came through for, I believe it was the Marks painting. Was it the Marks painting? Let me go look actually, because now I need to know. I need to know, because I know I wrote it on the back that it was the specific person. Let's see. I have it in my Spirit Art shop. Come on, internet, you can do it. Oh no, maybe I didn't write it on that one. So maybe it's not the Marks one. Was it the last one? That guy did a lot of talking though. Oh yeah, it was. Okay, so this is Peter. We had Peter in the very first spirit art. And then he came back last time and he did the seeds picture. He's the one who did the seeds picture. However, this painting reminds me very much of the Marks painting. You know what? You guys know what I'm talking about? The one where it was like, what kind of mark? We all leave a mark. What kind of mark are you gonna leave? Because it's painted the same way. Like the objects were painted first, and then the paint for the background went in around it. So that makes me think that Peter was also the Marks painter. Oh. So that would mean he's been here 4 times. Uncle Jimmy's basement. I see red hair from someone getting a haircut. Change up their look. And the water is getting clogged, which represents getting stuck in life. You got some good symbolism there going, Uncle Jimmy's basement. Okay. So what I experienced was, first, my eyes burning. My eyes were burning. I'm like, okay, I've had this sensation before of the eyes burning. So I know that this is the same person we've had before. And then he was really, really quiet and didn't really want to say anything. And Peter, this is funny because it's actually kind of funny, Uncle Jimmy's basement, that you have shown up right here in the midst of decoding this painting, because I can tell already that you're kind of a little bit of a smartass, and so is Peter. Because you know what? The first thing happened. The first thing that he said to me when he came in, he said, "Are these really the paintbrushes that you got for me?" So now I know next time we're going to do a painting, make sure I have a wider variety of paintbrushes. I thought the paintbrushes I picked out were fine. Peter was not a fan. Not a fan of the paintbrushes. And I could tell he was pissed off about the paint too, because I just used like the craft paint, you know? And I have nice professional paint also, but I was like, this is more convenient. I can get to it easier. Let me just throw some colors on the palette. Clearly, Peter wants nice brushes and he wants nice paint. So next time we do a painting, I'll be sure, Peter, to bring in the good stuff. Peter loves nature for sure. Peter is your biggest fan, it seems. Peter is a character. I'll tell you that much right now. You get him some professional brushes. Variety is the spice of life. You're right, Sylvia, you're right. I would have had the same concern also. Thanks, Jimmy. Uncle Jimmy's basement. Well, Peter's a picky artist. He is very particular, I have to say. I would just drop paint and said, my job is done. Peter, the spirit, you tell Jenny to step up their game. Yes, he was. He absolutely was. Like, these brushes are crap. This paint is crap. Why do you keep giving us crap to use? But look at the lovely painting that Peter created with the crap brushes and the crap paint. It's beautiful and hideous at the same time. Okay, so as he's painting, like I said, he was really quiet, didn't really want to talk. I asked him if he was Peter. He said yes. And then I asked him, do you go by Peter because that was the name that you had in your last incarnation? And he said yes. And then I asked him what what time period did he come from? Like, when was he alive last? And he didn't answer me. And then I asked him what he did in his last life. And he made it in a joke. He made a joke that he was an apostle, like he's the Apostle Peter, but I know that that's not true. So, like I said, he's a smartass. And then there was something else where he said something smartassy. It was when I wanted to start asking him questions. He was like, "If you must know," something like, it was something like that. "If you must know." Yeah, I would like to know. And then this was the thing that was really interesting, because he started relaying the message of the painting to me in my head. And I was like, "Peter, you need to tell them what the message is. Like, speak, speak." And he didn't want to this time. Because if you guys were here for the very first Spirit Art, or if you've watched it, the highlight, or watch it on YouTube, the very first time he came through, he was really pissed off because he really hates how people treat each other. Like, he's kind of like a real, like, he likes to pretend that he doesn't care. I'm psychoanalyzing Peter. He likes to pretend that he doesn't care about anything or anybody else. But the reason why he does that is because he's really upset with how people treat each other. And that came through in the very first Spirit Art, with all the chaos at the bottom of the very, the piece. And he was talking about, like, living on Earth is chaos. And in some ways, I think he was like trying to say it was like hell, but it was only because of the way that people treat each other. And really, he's like really upset about it. And at one point tonight, when we were relaying information to each other, he said, "Nobody's going to listen." Like I said, why don't you talk? And he said, "No one's going to listen." And I was like, they're here because they want to listen, because they're here for a reason. They want to see what you're going to make. They want to see what you have to say. And all of these messages are very helpful. And he was like, "I'll tell them at the end." So then it took him like, it was almost like he had to muster all of his courage to speak. Because I felt like he didn't want to tonight. He talked a lot about that seed one that we did last time, but tonight he wasn't up for it. Like, he didn't feel like talking. But I kind of made him, and then what he said was really amazing. But the reason why I laughed at the end, Sylvie, is because he got really emotional. Like, he started tearing up, which made me tear up because he's in my body. And it was like, I don't know. Our stream Friday night, we had a spirit come through that ended up having like I had to do like a therapy session with the spirit, and this was kind of what it felt like again. It was like this, painting these things and coming in and making this art with us for Peter is therapeutic. It's like helping Peter release some shit that he's built up over a lot of lifetimes. Resentment and anger and frustration with the human race. And I really feel like this is helping him, and something released in him tonight because he was very emotional about it. Even though he likes to pretend like he's this like hard exteriored, smart ass guy, something happened. So anyway, maybe he painted badly on purpose. Yeah, like he's like, he gave me these crappy brushes and this crappy paint. I'm gonna paint a crappy painting. Peter can't give us a vibe under these conditions. Tell Peter Jimmy wants to know what time zone he might answer. There's no time where he is, Jimmy. Time doesn't exist in the spirit world. Okay, so let's talk about the message that he did say, because I thought it was really, really interesting. He was comparing your thoughts, like people's thoughts, to the primordial ooze before things were created. Like, your thoughts have the power to create things, to create and change your existence and other people's as well, which is a huge topic that has been coming up recently. I wish Keisha was here, because Keisha would know exactly what I'm talking about, and I wish Charity was here, because Charity would be like flipping out. But if you haven't watched any of the Raw Contact book discussion videos that I have on YouTube, they're crazy, and it's a ton of information. But part of the information that's been coming out in it is about your thoughts and like how powerful your thoughts can be. And one of the more popular things that people have realized that through is the law of attraction, how you need to focus your thoughts on the positive things and the things that you really want, because you attract the things that you focus on. So if you're attracting negative, if you're only thinking and focusing your energy on negative things, you're only going to get negative things. It's like the same thing. But this goes even further, and it's a huge, huge topic that gets into some real crazy stuff. I don't have my "This is weird" video on this scene, but I'll have to play it before I leave. But thoughts can create things, people. Thoughts can create things. So be careful what you think, because our thoughts can be the primordial ooze that creates something new, just like the primordial ooze that existed before there was anything. It had the potential to be anything, and it was thought that created it. So be careful what you think. It's crazy. It's craziness. Uncle Jimmy said, Uncle Jimmy wants to know his era. That's what I meant. Oh, what time he's in. He wouldn't tell me, Jimmy. He wouldn't tell me. Maybe we haven't built up enough trust, or maybe he doesn't feel like it's necessary for us to know that. I don't know. Or maybe he's just stubborn ass man. That's probably more accurate. But I don't know. He wouldn't tell me. Boy Cat Witch said, I thought he was reminding me to be careful with my thoughts, since you said Friday I was creating something that shouldn't be created. Boy Cat Witch, that's exactly what I was getting to. Yeah. I say he is stubborn and a very old gray-haired man. You know, a lot of people, hoaxsters, when he comes through, they do picture him as an old grumpy ass man. So you guys are probably onto something. And I notice when he's in my body that I hunch over and like I get smaller, you know, and then my eyes hurt, you know. So maybe he was a pretty old man before he passed last time he was incarnated. Which, you know, that might make some sense too, because maybe he was a lonely old man. And he had a lot of time to sit and ponder about all the reasons why people suck. That feels right to me. I don't know about you guys. That feels right. So Lucy, Void Cat Witch, yes. We can create, this is something that comes up. Some people do suck. You're absolutely right, hoaxsters. This is something that keeps coming up in that Raw book that I've also heard and experienced and seen and experienced for myself, and told Lucy that she was doing it herself too. There's stuff called thought forms. And it's basically when a person or a group of people have given something enough thought, it actually physically comes to an existence. And in this raw book, it's saying the thought forms come up a lot. And like some of the cryptid type of things are thought forms. Some of the alien encounters we have are thought forms. I think a lot of the scary type of haunting things that happen are thought forms because it's people's fear becoming a physical manifestation. One of my friends, I shall not name her because she might not want me to tell her story. I don't think she would mind me telling her story, but I won't say who she is. Her anger, grief, trauma, fear, like all of her negative emotions created a nasty little beast of a thought form creature that was in her house. Like, I felt it and I helped her try to get rid of it, but ultimately she was the one who had to get rid of it herself because she created it. It was her energy that made it. So it's really, really funny that this has come through this week because I had a dream. Well, it wasn't a dream. So I've been reading this raw book every day and doing these discussion videos every day. And I've been talking with my friend Charity, who will be in here sometimes. She'll actually be on the Witching Hours in August about the stuff every day. So it's like, I'm getting completely immersed in studying all these different weird things. And one of the nights this week, when I was supposed to be sleeping, I was having someone tell me while I'm asleep the whole freaking night, you have to be able to identify thought forms. You have to know what thought forms are. You have to be able to identify them. You have to identify thought forms. And I'm like, I just want to sleep. Do we have to do this while I'm asleep? Couldn't we do this while I'm awake? Why are you pestering me this whole freaking night? The whole night. Someone's telling me you have to know how to identify thought forms. And I'm like, I don't know. You know, are you going to tell me how to identify thought forms? Because otherwise, I don't know. But then Void Cat Witch came into the stream Friday and I was able to identify that it was a thought form. And here we are making this painting with Peter that's all about thoughts. It's all connected. All connected. And let me leave you with one more nugget of wonderfulness about thoughts and thought forms. If you have seen The Never-Ending Story, you know exactly what a thought form is. Because the end of the movie, when the Nothing has completely destroyed Fantasia, and there's nothing left but the princess, and she's crying to Bastian, and she says, Bastian, just do what you dream. And then he yells his mom's name out the window, and then there's nothing but him and the princess. The Empress. Sorry. Thank you, Frosty. The Empress. And they're sitting there together. And do you know how he fixes Fantasia? Do you remember how he fixes Fantasia? With his thoughts. He has to use his imagination to bring all of it back to life. Bastian, just this one little kid, brings the whole of Fantasia back into existence because it was all created, manifested from thought. Yes, the Empress. The childlike Empress. Thank you, Frosty. Frosty knows because he had a crush on her when he was a little kid. That sounds like Shark Boy and Lava Girl too. I've seen a little bit of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. I think my middle child used to watch watch it some, but I don't think I ever really paid attention to it. They have creations from thoughts too in there. That's good to know. So, collective message tonight from Peter with this hideously beautiful painting. Your thoughts are more powerful than you realize. They have the power to create. So be careful what you think. Loki looks like Falkor. He does! Little Wing, you're absolutely right, he does. We need to write the message on the back, but the paint is still very wet. I wonder if I can do it without screwing it up. Does this pen work? Does this pen flow? Okay. All right, we're gonna flippity do it here. And I'm gonna try to write as nicely as I can. Okay, so this was Peter. He seems to be our regular artiste now. He said, what did he say? He said, thoughts are more powerful than you realize, period. They have the power to create, period. Be careful what you think, period. Quotations, nice. And then I'm just gonna sign the bottom, put the year on here. Done. Did I put it the right way? Oh yeah. So what do you guys think? How do you feel about this? What were your thoughts about it? Do you feel like there's more to it? You feel like there's other messages that are, could be, what kind of messages do you think you could get from this painting, or what Peter was talking about? How did it make you feel? What kinds of things did you think this might mean, other than what he told us? Because there's lots more symbolism you can pull from it, particularly if it was water that you can't quite see what's under and through. Little Wing said, did you know meeting? Oh no, that was me. That's the Nightbot. Little Wing gave the little face. Sylvie said, I resonate with it 100%. It's actually, I realized something. It's actually something I realized about myself a few months back. Oh, wow. Sylvie, that's amazing. See? That's why you're here. To participate, to share your experience, to say it out loud, or typing it out loud. All right, what else? What did you guys glean from this? How did it make you feel? What do you think? Or what do you think about thought forms? Is that something that you can get behind, or does it not make any sense to you? Are you like, what the hell is this woman talking about? I have another example of the thought form was kind of, sort of, it was proven with evidence. In the episode called Zombie Boy of Kindred Spirits, they create a thought form that answers questions about itself, even though it didn't exist until they talked about it. Like they made up a fake spirit, they talked about it like it was real, and then when they went back to get evidence, they got evidence for the fake information that they had given about a fake spirit. So it's a really interesting episode if you haven't seen it. Lucy said, "We need to let our thoughts flow freely like fish. Let all the positive thoughts float to the surface and the negativity to the bottom, thus bringing beauty to the world around you." I love that, Lucy. That's fantastic. Let our positive thoughts float to the surface and the negativity to the bottom. Great. That is beautiful. Sylvie said, "I'm still unsure what thought forms really are, but I'll look more into it." To be honest, Sylvie, I still am trying to figure it out too, which is why it was really bothersome for some spirit entity, whatever, to be harassing me about it for, 8 hours while I was sleeping. But clearly it's something that I need to learn about, or else they wouldn't have been bothering me for the whole entire night. But maybe we're learning about it together. You know? We're learning about it together. Well, what an interesting